Broke girl therapy.
This is free. Oh, that's cold. Okay, Liquid Death, you gotta go away.
Oh, we're matching.
I know.
Wait, did you bring another shirt? We're doing 2 episodes.
Yeah, I did bring another shirt.
Oh my God.
You know why? Because I'm a professional.
I'm a professional.
Hey,
I'm a professional.
You Real Housewives of the cul-de-sac. Am I right? Let's go.
We're drinking non-alcoholic wine. So basically a sparkling cider.
No, cider has alcohol in it. It's an adult Martinelli's.
Yeah, there you go. I thought cider was just like,
Cider has some alcohol. It's the least amount of alcohol I feel like of all.
I just thought the word cider just meant like sparkly.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, also I don't drink.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But you know words better than me.
No, I think cider just means it's like made from like an apple or a pear or like it's like a fruit or something.
That's true because it's always fruity.
Mm-hmm. Versus
someone out there is probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but also like you can't blame me because I'm a non-alcoholic, and you can't blame you because you didn't know. I don't read. I don't read.
I mean, like I read what I need to.
Yeah, I read people.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a cheers.
Yay, you're back!
I'm back! Zoom.
You haven't been, it feels like it was not that long ago, but it kind of was.
No, it was, because the way you lied to your viewers about how we record episodes.
What do you mean I lied?
Oh, that's an exaggeration. It's not that you lie, but it's like when we record an episode versus like when you post an episode, it's been a while, but it also hasn't. But it's been at least almost 6 months.
6 months? No.
February.
It's July.
I know, but February was the last time we hung out. Yeah, do the math. It's July.
Wait, you're right, actually, because maybe it feels like it was later because your episode came out later.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. Wait.
Perception.
Rose.
I know.
Oh, yeah, because the last time I came here, which was in May. May.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't here.
I did a batch, recording, and you weren't here. Where were you?
Oh, I was in an artist colony in upstate New York.
Okay, yes, and we haven't even talked about that. Can we talk about what that? Do you want to talk about that now or later?
I mean, I don't know. It was like a nerd summer camp. It was like a bunch of artists in upstate New York at this place called Yaddo, and it was really cool. It was like an artist retreat, and we could do things. Wait, did someone die?
What?
Oh no. Oh my God, but that's like my old boss. Anyway, sorry. Just a weird text. Anyways, Yaddo. So I was at an artist colony in upstate New York where it was like myself and 14 other artists, and we were living in this amazing area of Saratoga Springs, and I was there for 36 days. Just
Aww.
Little to no internet, little to no cell phone reception.
And just
writing and crying and reading and feeling at one with nature and life and everything. Rude plain. I've never heard
loud ass.
We are not in Inglewood. We are not in Mid City. Why would we ever hear a plane?
Burbank.
No, mystery solved. You guys, we should be detectives. And we really should be broke girl therapy. Private dicks. It would be a really great spin-off show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was up there. I will say I'm being very, I think, PC or just politically savvy about talking about this place because it was a really tough experience in the sense of what I was dealing with and where I was mentally as an artist and as a writer. But it was fun. I made some amazing friends and was able to have these deep philosophical cafe society conversations and everything, and it was really cool. It did sometimes feel like I was in either the Twilight Zone or Get Out, because you're in the woods with all these strangers for 36 days, and
the woods.
Yeah, you're in these cabins. And I had my own bedroom, and it's extremely fucking haunted, very haunted. Oh, it's very haunted.
Tell me stories. I love haunted stories.
Okay, so I'm not.
Wait, let me do the intro.
Oh, 4 minutes in. That's a new record, isn't it? With us.
But I just know this haunted story is about to be good, and I need to do an intro.
What if it's not? Okay, sorry, the pressure. Let's go. Hi, I'm Stefanie Maegan.
Are you doing
your host of Broke Girl Therapy.
And guess the fuck what, you guys? Rose is back. She's back, and she's a hoe again.
Back. I am, actually. We'll get to that in a
We'll
second.
get to that.
Let's just say Ho Rose is back in full force.
Right.
I miss
We'll dive
her.
into that.
Thank you from the studio audience.
But I need the haunted story first
Oh,
before
so,
the
like-
resurrection of Ho Rose.
So the thing about Yaddo is that like a lot of people have gone to this place, like James Baldwin, Dorothy Parker, Sylvia Plath, Truman Capote, Langston Hughes, like a lot of amazing human beings, not just writers, but like artists of all types. And so there's a lot of energy that's like on this like amazing,
Oh my God.
you know, I think it's like 17 acres, you know, and it's like usually houses, we were like the COVID cohorts. So it was like only 15 of us, but usually there's about like 30, there's like 25 to 30 artists, like just constantly like being there for the time and then leaving. So my group of like individual misfits, we got really close together, but they even told us, they were like, you know, there's a lot of like heavy spirits and like vibes here, you know, there's a lot of energy. And I was like, oh yeah, I can, you know, kind of. And then like the first, whatevs. And then I like, my bedroom was like this gorgeous open like loft. And there was like this very ancient, like chest. Like it was a giant, like you like lifted up, like kind of looking like a treasure chest. And like, there was nothing in it, but there would be like noises coming from it sometimes. And I would always like open it and be like, is there something in there? And there'd be like nothing in there. Or like the door would creak open slowly. And I'd be like, you know, and the number one thing you're supposed to do is like not recognize it. You're not supposed to be like, hello. Because then you're like welcoming that spirit or that ghost. And so I was like, I'm going to ignore that. And then there was like a couple times where it would feel as though someone was like sitting on the end of my bed. Like you would just feel like this like pressure. And I was just like, oh my God. Like I would just
There
be
was
like
a pressure?
yeah, it was like literally I could like feel like someone like sitting on the end of my bed.
Oh my God.
And just being like, calm down, like you're fine. And I like remember I like called my aunt and I was like, what do I do? And she was like, go find some lavender and some rosemary, put it under your pillow, you know.
Right.
Don't like welcome them. And I was like, okay. So yeah, I was like very haunted. And also like the woman who started Yaddo, like she was this very amazing woman. She had 4 kids and they all mysteriously died. And like very, very weirdly died. And there was like one day, this is going to make me sound so crazy, but like there was one day we were all like in her old bedroom because that's one of the rooms that the artist can sit in. And I like step in and I just hear this like, like little cough. And like in the corner of my eye, I see like a kid sitting on a bench. And I was like,
I am not claiming this energy.
yeah, and I was like, cool. And so I like stepped back, and the girl who was like my flatmate, who was like sharing like
Flatmate?
yes, my flatmate, who was like sharing the house. It was just the 2 of us in our little house. She was
Is that
like,
your phone?
whose phone's blowing up? Who's getting tags?
It's me. I'm God.
That's
I'm
rude.
sorry.
It's literally the ghost being like, bitch, you talking about me? You're not gonna ask my side of the story? Rude. The ghost has a podcast now. Sorry. But like, yeah, it was just like, oh, but like I stepped back and like my flatmate was like, did you see something? And I was like, is there a little kid sitting on the bench? And she like looked in, she was like, nope, but we're not gonna test it. And like, so there was just like a lot of vibes when I was there, and it was
Were
great.
you scared?
I was, but then like, and I kid you not, like I didn't sleep for like 34 days. Like I didn't get like solid good
Oh, okay.
sleep.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was a lot. It was a great experience. I mean, it was kind of, you know, it's this very prestigious place. Like anyone I told on the West Coast that I was going to Yaddo, they were like, you going to rehab center? But like anyone that like heard that I was going to Yaddo on the East Coast were like, oh my God. Like it's so prestigious. So there was like a lot of pressure about going to this place. But it was amazing. And it was really like, I did get a lot of writing done. I did get like a lot of, I feel like, intuitional conversations with myself that felt really good and felt like really amazing. And it was just like a good experience that probably wasn't necessarily the most positive thing, but it really did put a lot of like shit in perspective for me as like what I want for my career and like where I'm headed.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and I made some amazing friends and met some great people. One of them actually, Eris, who's an amazing documentary filmmaker. She was in Seattle literally over the weekend, and she like, my parents went to her screening and like they all hung out, and so it's like really cute and it's like a really fun, cool thing. But that was there. And a lot of people were like, you were gone forever. Because then I was
I felt like you
in
were
New
gone
York
for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like fucking about in New York for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. Did you like go on dates in New York?
No.
Okay. It was all work and focused.
It
and
was.
Yeah.
I did download the apps. And then as people know, I'm recently single. And I like downloaded the apps, but like I never like matched with anyone or like messaged anyone. I was like kind of like looking, and then I like immediately felt this like weird guilt because I was like, wait, I'm not over like Anthony. That's been fixed. But like, you know, are
you like over him though? Like, do you think like where are you in the stage of healing and grief of the relationship?
I think I'm good. I feel like I'm in this position right now where I think my grieving of the breakup was cut in half because I still do have a lot of respect and love for him. I really do hope that like Anthony was a good guy. He was like, of all my exes, he was the best one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I do have a lot of like love for him and respect for him. And I would never say anything badly about him. So I think that helped with like the healing process. But like one of the last conversations I had with him, he basically, you know, I had been trying to, basically I'm mourning. I'm still in mourning of him. And he just kind of made some comment about how he's been dating. And I was like, okay, then I'm back in. Okay. And I just kind of like, I don't know, something about like, again, this is the truest thing. Women mourn and men replace. It's just facts, you know?
Yeah.
But I think because of that gives us sometimes the bigger, I guess, like growth and fastest growth. So I'm good and I'm like happy where I am. And I'm now like stepping back into ho-ros. And like more importantly, I'm stepping back into love. I love being single.
You always did, even before you met Anthony. You really genuinely loved being single. I love it. Like you really mastered being single.
Yes. And it's just like one of those things that I think it's almost like getting back with like an old lover. Like I forgot.
Right.
Being single knows my body.
But you were always like kind of like halfway single with Anthony. Not in a way that you were like hooking up with anyone else or talking to anybody else.
But it was long distance.
It was long distance.
So I was able to still take myself out to dinner and movies and like
and still
whatever.
have that like sense of independence.
And have someone that was like in my corner and like rooting for
Right.
me. And then like when I wanted to see Anthony, we saw each other and had like these beautiful like weekends together and like traveled. So that was like perfect. Like literally,
Right.
I mean.
Do you want like in the future, like do you want to have something that's kind of similar in a sense of like it's long distance or like where, because you guys never even talked about moving in together or whatever.
Oh,
like,
we did.
Oh, you did?
He did not want to move in.
Oh, it was him? I thought it was you.
No, I think it was more him.
I thought you didn't want to move in. Oh, really?
It was more him than me.
Oh
and that's how I kind of like
you never
knew.
told me this because
Did I not?
You always would tell me that you were not interested in moving in with him. That was my impression.
Well, I mean, there was times where I was like, I wasn't, but I mean, come on, we were hitting 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that was like one of us trying to figure out like, okay, I will say though, the conversation I think you're recalling is when it was like, will you move back to Seattle? And I was like, no. And it would I wouldn't, not at that time.
Okay.
No, I would not have moved back to Seattle. Because that was the thing is that Anthony and I hit 2 years and then it was like, okay, we got to talk about like, what is this going to be?
Right.
But I think the more important thing is that I realized like, I could live with him. He got weird whenever we talked about just even like just playing the game of like, could we live together? He just would be like, and I was like, you only child. Like he's such an only child.
Right, he just doesn't want to like share.
No.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, we could get like a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom and like make it work. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to sleep in the same bed. But he really was like, so
you can always
rigid
create
about
your own
it.
space within the space,
which is so funny to me because he was so adamant on not being long distance and then like loved long distance as much as I loved it. So it was like so fucking weird. And I know that like there was like me leaving stuff at his apartment wasn't a big deal. But the idea of me being like, if I moved back here, can I move in with him? Was like, he was like, well, you got your parents. And I was like, okay, that's like a sign to be like, this isn't gonna happen.
So do you like in the future, do you want to like have someone to live with and like have a partner or like get married, have kids, like all those things that like, you know?
I know it's so weird because the funny thing is I don't think I want kids. Like I know that it's kind of like a revolutionary thing still to this day as a woman
You've
to
always
say.
you've always felt that way.
I've always felt that way just because the state of the world sucks. And I don't know if I personally can bring a kid into that. And someone who nannies too, you know, and it's like I hear a lot of kids like troubles and tripes and stuff like that. And so it's like, you know,
it's hard. It's hard being a parent.
It's fucking hard. And it's it's a commitment.
And it's okay to be like, actually, I'm not capable of having that versus people who just have them and like are actually not capable of having
and are not capable of it.
Right. Yeah.
So that was like my thing is that I don't think I could I don't think I could have kids. I think that it's just a lot of responsibility. That might change in 5 years, but like right now, like kids are not on my like
radar
right now.
I want to be a mom within like the next 5 years.
Oh, but I can see that for you. You would be a great mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I've always, like ever since I was younger, I just always wanted to be a mom. Like
I would love to be
an aunt, a tita.
I would
Tita
love
Rose.
to be your Tita Rose to your kid.
Tita Rose.
I would totally kick it with that kid.
You'd be a great
I would shit talk
Tita
with that
Rose.
kid all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Ooh, tell me what your dad did." And like, tell me everything. Like, I just tell me about your mom. Oh, I know why she's like that.
Right.
Be nice to her. Like, because I also think that's like a thing that I realized that I have my parents, but my parents had a community of adults that I like had that were like aunts and uncles that I really loved and appreciated. And I feel like I always admired those people in my life, and I would love to be that to someone else. But the idea of me personally being a mother to someone, I just kind of, if it's a lot of responsibility, and I don't want to take that responsibility lightly. I can totally see you stepping into that role because I feel like you are naturally a very nurturing person. It doesn't come, I flinch. You know what I mean? You dive right in, no questions asked when it comes to that like maternal instinct. For me,
you're like, someone
I
hold the
hesitate.
baby. I don't want to hold the baby.
Yes, I hesitate.
But I'm like, here, give me the baby.
Exactly.
Give me the baby.
And I think it's completely okay for women and men if you have that hesitancy that listen to it.
Right.
And maybe that fades, maybe gets stronger, but that's just life.
Right.
But when it comes to partners, yes, I would love to have like a life partner. I would love to have like a human in my corner. And I don't necessarily have to live in the same city as them. Like I really do realize like with Anthony's relationship, like I love long distance relationships and I can like make them work.
I mean, it was good in the beginning and then it just gets a little like irritating.
It does.
Having to figure out like who goes to fly to who, like who visits who now, like, you know.
But I think it forces what it does is it forces communication off the bat.
Yeah, which is great to kind of establish in the beginning. Like I think that it was perfect that me and Brian started off as long distance. And it got to a point where it was like, okay, we have this communication thing established. Like,
yeah. Let's just keep it like going.
Let's take the next step.
Exactly. Yeah. And then did you find the transition easier because of that? Or has it just been difficult? Because it's like both of you guys, I mean, I watched the whole episode. Yeah. And I know that both of you guys have never lived with a partner.
Yeah. I mean, it was an easy like decision. And it was, you know, I guess it like the transition was easy in a sense of like, it didn't make me have any regrets leaving LA. Like I was like, oh, like I'm fine. Like people were like, oh my God, like how does it feel? This is like this is a big deal. Yeah, I was like, I honestly like I think I was already like accepted that LA will always be here.
Yeah, it's not going
anywhere.
Plus,
I'm coming here like once every other month.
We're here right now.
Right, exactly. Like I'm in LA right now, you know, like it's here. So I didn't feel like I was like, oh my God, like it didn't feel hard for me to like leave. I kind of was also at a point where I was like kind of over it and wanted
You're from
new.
here and you've never lived anywhere else.
Well, I lived in Pennsylvania when I was 5.
Yes, but when you were not as like
not as an adult.
I don't think that counts. I don't remember shit when I was 5.
I do. I remember like I went to St. Elizabeth. I lived pretty close to Philly. I remember I had a classmate named Megan because my name was Stefanie Maegan. I was like, oh my God, her name is Megan too.
You have to be best friends.
Yeah, and I had my first crush was when I lived in Pennsylvania. I have a lot of memories of Pennsylvania.
Wow, that was like a really important
one time I had massive diarrhea at my apartment. My parents got mad at me. And I was like in the bathtub naked. I just remember that. I was like 5. Like I just
they got mad at you because you had diarrhea?
Yeah, but you know, my mom's problematic. So, I mean, I don't know I don't remember the full story. So maybe I did something or whatever, you know, I don't know. But I just remember.
But also you're 5. You're
right, exactly.
I mean, not to be full circle about the whole mom thing, but like kids will be kids.
Kids will be kids.
Kids are sticky.
Kids, yeah.
Kids are sticky. Kids are gross. Kids pick up germs.
Yeah.
Kids are disgusting, and they're cute.
And they're cute.
But they're fucking kids. They don't know any better.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, you know, as like parents, probably just. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but I know I'm sure it gets like irritating after a while, but you have to like constantly remind yourself, oh wait, they are kids, you know?
They're children.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The whole, I mean, look, I've watched a lot of parents have actual full breakdowns in front of their kids, and I'm kind of like, look, I know it's hard to be a parent.
Yeah.
Look at me, I chose not to be a parent, but you have to be able to be like, mom needs a moment and like go to the bathroom and do that because it's traumatic. It's difficult.
It is. Yeah.
And that's the thing I really admire about my mom. My mom would do that. My mom would be like, I need a moment. And then mom needed to put herself in timeout. My friend Lauren's mom would be like, mommy has to have a timeout. And Lauren would be like, all right, is it done? And she'd be like, no, mom's still in timeout. And I was like, that's such a brilliant
No, my
thing.
mom would totally have a breakdown or lash out and project on me. It was always me out of my siblings that she projected on.
Well, we know that's also because of the whole idea of like being a girl and like what that represents and everything.
And I've always felt like compared. Like I remember like what they said to me. I think it was my mom. I don't know which parent, but one of them said to me like, you're like you can't be pooping yourself. Like so and so, I guess who I probably was around my age was like they don't poop themselves or something like that. I remember being like compared and being like really felt bad about like shitting myself.
About yourself. You're also like a kid. You know what I mean?
And I've like honestly I've like shit myself I've shit myself a lot like up until I was like.
Not recently, have you?
Not recently.
Okay,
but like,
I thought you were about to be like
I've had
since
a good,
like last week.
I've had a good amount of accidents. I have so many great poop stories. Like it's insane.
I don't like poop. I don't like talking about it. It makes me
We'll get to you. Wrong person to talk about.
I was about to be like,
with.
yeah, you can talk about. I don't know.
So
Jess, you like poop? I can't do it.
I have so many like hilarious poop stories. Okay, wrong person. I could probably do this with like Harrison.
Harrison loves.
I mean, he's shit on dick.
Hetchke.
Anything butt related, I go to Harrison.
Yeah, I'm like the butt. Don't tell Rose, and he's like butt. I love butts. Tell me all the butt stuff.
He's probably shit himself too. It's fine.
I mean, who hasn't? Honestly,
What if
but I'm just like,
you shit yourself?
I think I was like, I kid you not. I think I was like 17.
Okay, that's not that bad.
No, but I think it was because, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been many close moments, especially being someone who lives in LA and you're in traffic and you're like, I'm literally going home.
I need to go. Yeah,
I need to go.
I've shit myself while I was driving in traffic once. And could not.
The amount of people I know that actually don't want to admit that but have told me this. Yes. There are a lot of people that we actually.
There's so many people.
There are someone that I know that you and also know that is a friend of ours that has told me about that story.
Yeah. Common.
It's very common. But because you're also like so stressed because you're like in traffic and then you're just like, I'm also like relaxed because I'm sitting.
Right.
But I'm also not supposed to like do it here, body, get your shit together.
Literally.
Or like literally get your shit together. Or the people that I know that have like accidentally like peed their bed because they were like, oh no, I had the dream and I flushed the toilet. And like they know that if they flush the toilet,
See, I always have dreams where I'm trying to pee, but my body won't. I won't pee. I can't pee in bed.
But
I've actually never shit in bed either, but I don't pee in bed. I can't do like anything during bed. I'll fart.
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, that's the only time I fart. I like apparently store it up.
The only time?
The only time I just apparently that was like one of the things Anthony would say. He'd be like, "God, all you do in bed and fart."
One time, Brian, like this was recently, he farted so loud in his sleep, like he was knocked out, and like I was appalled because like that's my thing. That's not his thing.
He took your bit. Yes. He took your bit.
And one time we were eating at a restaurant, and like. We were done with the meal and all of a sudden he goes, and he like burps so loud. I'm like, oh my God. I was like embarrassed. And like everyone looked over. He was like, oh shit. I didn't mean to.
He was like, I didn't know it was going to sound like that. My bad. I didn't sign up for her.
I was like, you've been hanging out with me for way too long.
See,
like,
and
you're
we're
just letting it out. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have done that.
See, that's the whole thing is like when you get comfortable with a partner.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no. I still can't. Even when I'm so surprised. I'm so like suppressed when it comes to that type of stuff. I think it's my Catholic background. I don't think anyone's gonna notice. It's fine. So let's go back to living with each other and significant others.
Yeah. Instead of poop and shitting and all that stuff.
That's what you apparently do. Can you do that at his like? Did you feel comfortable to like
what do you mean?
Poop at his house?
Of course.
I've never been able. I've dated him. Nope.
Never pooped at your boy.
No.
What?
I can never do it. I'm not Keep in mind when Alyssa was living with me.
I pooped at your house.
I know you have, and I don't know how you people do it. Alyssa would literally pee with the door open sometimes. Okay, you know, but my bathroom's in the back, so it's like it's hard to tell. But like she could continue talking with me. It's not like I was watching her. It was just that I cannot do that though. I had to close the door, and there was like times where Alyssa would be like, "Do I need to leave the apartment?" Like when she was living with me, and I'd be like, "Can you?" And she'd like leave the apartment, walk around the block, so I could do it because I'm so like I'm just like so nervous to do it.
Wow.
But that was it. But yeah, We should
read an email.
We should. Oh my God, should we do an email? Okay. We've all caught up with my life, right? I'm not Rachel. I don't need to tell you guys about international shit. Right? There's nothing international about me other than I'm
not Rachel. I
was about to say other than French Drake. That's the only international.
French Drake?
Yeah, French Drake. That's what I've been calling him. French Drake was
the guy that you've like hooked up with.
Mm-hmm. He's literally a Drake.
He looks like Drake.
Not looks like him, but he's black and Jewish, and he was raised in France.
Okay, so he's a French
Not to be confused with another guy who went to school in France.
Okay.
But this one was like, he was like this gentleman was like raised in France.
Wow.
Man, that was it.
Does he have an accent?
He does, like a little bit of one.
Okay.
And then, of course, what did I do? But like pull out my own accent. And then he was like, where did that Irish accent come from? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. And then I was like, why are you putting on an accent for this fucking
one
weirdo?
day we should just do our dad's accent. So you just speak an Irish accent. I'll speak it in like a Filipino accent.
Wait, that's actually kind of a good idea. I don't know. Oh, the poor subtitles you would have to do.
How about like we just read the emails in our parents' accents?
Let's fucking do it. I hate dating around.
Okay,
I fucking hate dating
you're
around.
Reading this one.
Hey, Steph. Thank you for reading my message. I've been grateful enough to find you randomly on TikTok. I've been listening to your podcast for the past 2 years. Oh, look at you.
Oh, thank you.
That's crazy because she's been on TikTok for about the last 2 years, you know. But I have a wee bit of she says little, but we would say wee situation. I met this guy named, let's call him Gym Teacher. Oh.
Gym teacher.
Okay, gym teacher. But like gym as in like J-Y-M, not like J-I-M. Yeah. This G-Y-M. I can't spell. Anyways, we've been talking on Hinge for this might be good because I'm back on apps, hoes.
That's why I chose it for your episode.
Okay, gotcha. We've been back on Hinge for 2-3 weeks. This accent's going all over the place. It was Scottish for a little bit and now it's Irish. Okay, and we've been really starting to vibe and I was actually enjoying talking to him. Oh, I have to do this because I can't read and... Why are the things... Oh, this has to do with Stranger Things. This might be a spoiler. I'll let you guys know. Okay. When the first time we hung out, our first meetup date was that he took me out to ramen and we stopped to watch a movie at Netflix. Ooh, throwback. Netflix and chill. Yeah. But we ended up just talking until 3 a.m. Oh, that's cute. We talked about toxic relationships, our parents' infidelities. He ended up sleeping over and we didn't do anything. We met up a second time and he brought a tall boy for a movie, but we didn't end up watching a movie because we got to the movie theater too late. We ended up going back to his place and watching the latest episode of Stranger Things, which was so cute. Never heard anyone describe Stranger Things as cute, but I like that.
But the whole vibe was cute.
Oh, the vibe was, I'm an idiot. Today I'm a blonde, I guess. I don't know. That's disrespectful to blondes, but also my bad. We watched Stranger Things, which was cute. And after that, he was like, I'm going to bed, but if you want to stay out here and watch TV, you can. But when you're ready to go to bed, just come to my room. And I was like, okay. I stayed in the living room a bit and watched a little Netflix. And when I got tired, I went to his room and laid down. I thought he was asleep, but he turned and asked me a question that I asked 2 days prior. It was about a spicy text we talked about. One thing led to another and we ended up fucking. Woo! The day after I felt really disconnected from him, but I really tell that he liked me, so I thought. A few hours later, I texted him and he hasn't texted me back. What should I take this as?
Wait. So she left.
So they have sex. She leaves. The next day she texts him and he hasn't texted her back. And this email was sent on July 16th and it is July 20th right now. This episode is airing on August 7th. Just kidding. I don't know. But she's just basically like, she has these 2 great dates with this dude. They end up having sex and then that's anything. It.
Yeah.
And then he's like ghosted her. What does that mean? I hate to say it, but I just don't think he's interested.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Which always sucks. But here's the thing about when men are done. is I always feel like sometimes a really good indicator is that you're kind of like, ah, man, that really fucking sucks and everything. But sometimes it's kind of one of those things where it's like, just put it on ice for a little minute. Because I don't think it's necessarily a full ghost, because it can want to be one of those things where you just hit him up like a few days later and are like, yo, like,
he could be doing something else. He could have whatever.
But I also think it's like one of those things that sometimes if you get a guy too close to like the whole experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, this is my thing where you have too many at-home dates, then you've kind of...
yes. I was going to say that when it's too soon for the at-home dates, especially, it's always the first date you meet somewhere. And the second date's like, oh, let's just chill at home. I feel like those...
You're skipping a whole lot of shit in the middle.
I feel like that, for the most... It could work. There's things where people...
I mean, that's my go-to move.
Right. It's your go-to move to what?
Just
to
have
fuck.
the home date. Yeah, to fuck, and then be like, that's it. Okay, thank you. It was very nice meeting you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like, because that would happen to me too. It was always the second date was always at home. And it was always like skipping over all these dates, getting to know each other. So, yeah, it could just be like one of those, just like he just needed someone there, have a moment with, and like didn't think anything of it, you know? I mean, there's potential if it could grow. Like sometimes you can meet each other like a year later and maybe have potential. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, yeah, put it on the ice for a little bit. Don't even think about it. Keep your options open and just keep fucking dating.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I understand that the caption, your literal thing is, I hate dating around, which I get it. You do hate dating around, but the idea is, do you only want to date if you're single and trying to figure it out? You don't want to be like immediately attached to the one first person. You're dating around doesn't necessarily mean you have to date like fucking 15, 20 people, but it does give you some ideas of like options, what you would like, what you don't like. And obviously, like, you made a connection with that guy. That's completely fine and extremely healthy. I think it's really sweet to make connections with people. You obviously bonded on a lot of stuff not a lot of people can identify with, parents infidelity, you know, toxic relationships. So I think that's really beautiful and that's amazing. But then it's also kind of like, okay, maybe that like we unloaded a lot about life very quickly, and now it's kind of like, let's just like see if we actually enjoy each other's companies.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that like if it's like on his end, it's probably very simple. If he likes you, he likes you, and it doesn't mean like he didn't enjoy his time. We don't know what place he is in his life or what his situation is at this moment and who he's dated and what his experiences are. Like that also plays an effect too, so it's kind of hard to like say. But I just think that, like, he's just, I don't know. I feel like, okay, here, this sounds very familiar to, like, my dating life, because I would always come across these situations and I would always be like, I hate dating around. But as someone who's, like, in a happy relationship now, like, I'm so glad that I did it. And, like, even when I was in the moment, I always try to shift my perspective, because I would complain. But I'd be like, you know what? One day I'm going to be with someone, because I know that that's what I want and that's what I'm striving for. But, like, I clearly have a lot to learn about what I want and what I don't want. So I'm just going to take all these experiences as it is. And also, it's fun to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
Like,
it's cute.
One day you're going to meet someone, and then another day you're going to be hella tired and not want to go out anymore. Your back hurts. You don't want to give your energy to people. So if you're young and thriving and have time, go waste your time with these dudes and date around.
Yeah. Do it
as
before
someone who's 31 and tired.
Okay. Do it before your back hurts.
But it's true though, you know what I mean? Like when you're young, like you're more like, oh, I want to hang out, I want to like do things.
Yeah, go
like,
do shit.
Or you have more energy to do shit. But then when you get older, you're like, I don't know, I'm tired.
Yeah. You're also a Pisces, so it's okay. It's gonna be okay.
And you're from the Bronx, so I really got some people out in the Bronx.
Okay, New York, girl, you in New York? I don't know. Literally in New York, that was like the city. Like I couldn't find. That was the weirdest thing about downloading apps in New York.
Yeah.
I was just window shopping, and I was just looking. But the amount of times I would just break my neck being like, a man on the subway. Oh my God, this man, a man. It's just like, there's so many gorgeous people in that city. Like, and you're probably one of them, girl.
Yeah, and you're in a like, gorgeous city, like with a lot of gorgeous people and a lot of, I don't know. I feel like it's cool to like build these stories, even if it's just like, just half a chapter with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's really cool to like,
the plot.
It's all for the plot. And I love looking back and be like, oh yeah, I experienced that one thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I was bummed about it, but like, I'm
Girl,
over
we
it.
were
It's
just
fine.
recollection about where I was like, hey, remember Coquette Curtis? And you were like,
Coquette Curtis!
Yeah, no, those are fine.
You gotta put yourself out there in order to have these experiences and these like laughs and these, you know, like.
You gotta put yourself out there so you too can have nicknames for shitty men in your life.
There you go.
That's a PSA right there. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay.
But seriously, you're beautiful. You're great. Love it for now. Hate it, but love it for now because it might not be the truth anymore.
Yeah.
Be
it's
gone.
Fine. Just keep going with it. Honestly, don't put pressure on it and just go with the flow. Like if I could go back and tell myself like all the times I was so anxious, it'd be like, you could only control yourself. You can't control other people. So
Facts.
just do what suits you. Only control yourself. That's it. You can't control them. You can't like manipulate him to text you back or no.
No, that's not fun.
Because I would try to like post something on my story, like like thirst traps or whatever. Our first episode, like I would post like a cute ass selfie, hoping that he'd like it and maybe like think of me. Strategic product placement, according to Jess, which is so true because I would drop that selfie thinking like, okay, look at my tan, I'm looking good, and then hoping Charles would text me, but it was actually Davion who texted me, and I'm like, damn, I got the wrong fish.
Oh, I know. The net was too wide.
It was too wide.
The titties were looking too good.
He wasn't the man I wanted to text me, but I got this one. I'm like, all right, fine, and I think I ended up sleeping with him anyways. So you got
I was about to say that's the best way to end the story. We were like, I got the wrong fish, but I still cooked and ate it.
Right.
It's totally
Still got something.
I wanted a snapper and I got tilapia. Just how it works sometimes. Anyways, what are we going after next?
This one says, I think I fell in love
Oh, God.
too fast.
Okay. Let's go. Just saying, as someone who did that. Oh, okay, let's go.
Are you stressed?
A little bit. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's talk about love. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I'm just kidding.
I feel like you're going through it over here. It's like a roller coaster of emotions.
I don't know why, but I had this like moment of, do you follow the girl who reads body language on TikTok?
I've seen it, but I don't follow her.
I'm obsessed with her. I love her. And then I'm a nobody. She's never going to read my body language. But when I was doing that, I'm fine. I was like, oh my God, it's that whole thing. Like,
maybe we should put it on TikTok and tag her.
Don't. Because I'm already doing the things she's telling me not to. Oh my God. There's like this thing about like the symmetry body, like only using one arm and like then the whole like throw. By the way, I'm a huge fan of yours. I can't remember her TikTok name right now, but she's great. Anyways, don't. Good evening. Welcome to the 6 o'clock news.
Okay, we'll read the email.
Okay,
You're
fine.
thinking about it too much.
I am.
All right, so I met this guy 2 months ago on Hinge. Hinge again. Sponsor me.
What? Yeah. What? Talk about. You know what? We should call this series the Unhinged series because this is a crazy ass love stories. But keep going. Okay, so we got another Unhinged. Fine. I have not had any success on Hinge. It's Bumble.
I have, but let me get to them and read them.
Okay, fine. Let's focus.
Okay. So I met this guy 2 months ago on Hinge after my sister took my dating app and found him because I have shit taste in men. We spent every weekend together since we met, and I spend the night in his loft in LA a couple times a week. He's a therapist.
What? He's a 10 and he's a therapist. Okay.
But then let's see what happens. Okay. And has his life together. I feel like sometimes he treats me like a patient. Ooh. But I feel better about myself. And he has, sometimes I think it's kind of cheesy when like you get certain guys who like have this career and they really show like,
Bitch,
you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think I started the series How to Love an Artist? Because I wanted to interview different artists and how different artists can be so cliche about the way they love.
Right.
Dancers, they're like, oh, girl, the way your body moves.
It's like sometimes it's like their whole persona, and it's like, okay, like stop trying to make, like he's a therapist. It's like, stop trying to make me a fucking therapist.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like your patient. I don't know.
Don't be a fireman that lights houses on fire, you weirdo. Like, have something outside of your job. Why are you so obsessed with it? A doctor who loves giving stitches. I don't know. I'm on a tangent now. I'm still thinking about
But maybe I'm an annoying
girl.
person that, like, sometimes people, like, I'll be talking to people like, I sound like I'm on your podcast. And I'm like, you're not.
But
I'm just talking to you.
But I also think that though that's not you, that's their projection of it. But this girl obviously is like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like your projection because you think of it because it's like, how do I know Steph? Oh, it's the podcast world. So then this is, but me and you talk about it all the time where it's like, we literally talk like this.
It's like when like you're hanging out with someone who's a musician, they play their music for you, like while you're like.
I hate that shit.
It's like that. That's how I'm looking at it.
My
I'm like,
sister was in LA for 48 hours and found a man, and she was like, Rose, he played me his music, and I really liked it. And I was like, I am not 20. Anyway, sorry. So you get treated like a patient.
Oh my God, where am I? I feel like sometimes he treats me like a patient, but I feel better about myself. Okay, it's not me feel better. And he has changed my life for the better.
So free therapy. You're not paying $150 an hour. That's tight.
That's
and
cool.
You're getting dick? Okay,
yeah.
Continue.
But business of pleasure could be a little tricky. Anyways,
no shit where you eat.
We already told each other, I love you. Ooh. He said it first, LOL. I just feel like maybe we fell in love too fast. I'm kind of scared that it will come crashing down. Any advice to calm my nerves? Have you ever fallen in love quickly? Yes, girl. P.S. I love Rose. That's what I put. I love Rose. She makes me laugh so hard. And when y'all are together, I know the episode's gonna be bomb.com. Love ya.
You know what, girl? I love you too. Let's just all love each other, Steph. I love you. Wait, but 2 months?
Yeah, I met this guy 2 months
dating?
ago, and she sent this 4 days ago. So this is recent.
So 2 months? They've been dating, they're in love?
Yeah.
Ooh. What is the okay. Let's focus. Let's really think about this for a hot second.
Yeah.
Did you have a conversation about being like, I feel like I love you before other conversations is a red flag in my mind. Like, did you talk about how, I'm not seeing anyone else. I'm not seeing anyone else either.
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't clarify that.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel like for you, boo, I'm going to call you the lover. As the lover, I think that you should reevaluate like how and when did the I love you happen? Like, did you guys have conversations about how I'm not sleeping with anyone else? Like, were there conversations about like, I want to meet your friends? You know what I mean? Like, a lot can happen in 2 months. I mean, I have a family friend. I think she got married. She knew a guy in like 9 months and they got married, and they're still married to this day. And it like worked out completely fine and they're happy. But it's just like, also everyone was like,
right,
is this gonna work out?
And sometimes it does, I guess. Like, you know, like when you're quick, I don't know. I'm all about taking your time, so I'm like very biased on that.
Ooh, then I'll take the opposite side.
Okay.
Fall in love. Move in together. Fucking get a 401k together, an IRA. Share each other's social medias. No. Give him your social security number. Just kidding. I'm just, that's all too
No, I mean, like, sometimes it works. People, when they know and they're very, like, decisive, they know, like, and I will support love no matter what. But, like, again, when we give advice, it's all projection of our experiences. So take it. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm analyzing, and I don't know if I'm just negative and I'm just projecting something.
This is fun. I love negative stuff. I love her. We're gonna throw that word around there. We should have a counter, right? Jess, you're in the audience. You understand. We should have a counter.
Negative stuff?
No, the whole idea of how many times we say love in this episode. This is the love episode. But yes, no, I love negative stuff. Continue.
Okay, so by the looks of like, okay, he's a therapist. He like gives her advice. He like is having her open up. It almost seems slightly controlling. Ooh. Like it's a little, it seems a little manipulative to me. I don't know why I'm getting manipulative red flags. I could be wrong. Please take things with a grain of salt. This is just what I'm.
No, that's a pretty big piece
like
of salt.
The fact that it's like, I'm a therapist, so let me like, you know, having you like be vulnerable, like making, like creating, like just. I mean, it's one thing to create a space, but like how we're going back and how it's like such a I don't know. It just
you're literally stealing the words out of my mouth. Yeah, it's just creating the space.
But it's like we've all created space for people we love. You get that, but it almost just seems like, but the way saying I love you right away, and like when you're in a very vulnerable space of time, I don't know. It just seems.
So here's the thing, girl. This is what I feel like is happening right now, and I think that we're both agreeing on it in different ways. Like for me, it's like, well, how did you get to what was being said before I said I love you, right? Mm-hmm. And I get him saying it first, but maybe this is her moment to kind of step back, get an outer body experience, and be like, oh shit, do I know anything about this man? Did he open up to you?
Yeah, did he open up to you?
Were you his therapist?
It's
do
all
you
about,
make
oh my
him
God,
feel better?
because you're like, oh yeah, he made me feel better. Made me like, okay, but like, did you do that for each other?
Maybe this is the moment where she's realizing where it's like, what do you have in common? Also,
right.
That's the thing. I started rewatching Sex and the City, and I'm literally at the end now. But it's like where she's dating the Russian, and she's like, the only thing we have in common is each other, and it's like, and she wants to move to Paris, and we know how that ends.
And it was all quick,
and it was very quick, and they were only been together for 3 months, and Miranda's standing outside of the church, being like, "You're living in a fantasy." So like, what if this is kind of your mirage fantasy moment where it's like the love could be real and it can exist, but who do you love? Do you know this man? Have you opened up to him? Has he opened up to you the way you've opened up to him? Is this a form of manipulation? Is he...
It's something to look at.
I mean, is he one of those people that kind of gets off on the amount of women that can get vulnerable in front of him?
Because it's weird. You start dating and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm a therapist. Let me have you as my patient. Like you said, you feel like you're his patient. That's a little like...
Very, very aware, but also like, let me suss this out. Like, obviously he's hot. I like him.
Has he been almost like your patient in a way? Like, can he come to you? Like, I think love is, feelings is there, obviously. Like that, we're not going to take away. We understand that you have a lot of feelings for this man. Is it long lasting love? Is it unconditional love? That's something that obviously with time you're going to find out. But I would keep a lookout and make sure that he's not like manipulating. I don't know.
I mean, I like that you threw a flag on the play because it is interesting. And obviously he does have a lot of attributes in the sense that he has his shit together. She mentioned that he has this like loft. He's got his life, but then it's, yeah, like I would just be like, what are you bringing to...
But sometimes when they really try to portray, I don't know. I just like...
No, I understand. Oh, I completely understand.
When they try to portray just like this perfect image of themselves and they're like looking at you like, oh, but like, let me help you.
Oh, yeah. Then you become a patient. Then it's like some weird things.
I don't know. It's like weird. So.
And I mean, but also evaluate it where it's like, what are you bringing to the relationship if it's not this weird emotional thing that he can get off on?
Right.
That he feels like you're a baby bird. Is he healing you?
Right.
And let's be honest, as someone who has done that to a lot of men in her life, where I've been the one that's like, let me fix you. And then at the end of it, I'm like, you're fucking happy and you're living your best life. And then like I'm in shambles. Right. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on.
They're getting off on being like the hierarchy of the relationship.
That used to be me like in my early 20s when I like thought I was going to be like, I'm going to be in love and married by the time I'm like 25. She died, thank God. But like that idea and that coalition and then realizing like, oh, that's right. Like that position is very unfair to expect this person to be the broken one that you get to fix and heal. There's this great show called New Amsterdam that I love. That's like a, drama hospital show, but they have this very interesting conversation between two husbands, and one of them is like, you're only with me because I'm broken and because you get off on the fact of like healing me. So now that I'm healed, that's when we're starting to fight and I want to get a divorce, and you don't, because you're like, let's work through this divorce. And it's like, oh, so you're turned on by my problems. And so it's like, how much of it is that he's turned on to your problems?
There's people who love to be fixers, and he's a therapist, so he obviously likes to help fix.
Yeah, I would think that if I think here though to the thesis of the original question, is there such thing as falling in love with too fast? I'm gonna say no. Just because I don't think there's anything wrong with falling in love too fast. The whole idea is... Yeah,
your feelings are valid towards this person. Yes. So that's okay.
Love is beautiful. It's an amazing thing.
Right.
We need more of it, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, yes, if you feel like falling in love too fast, it's fine. Everyone goes at their own pace.
But sometimes we fall in love with the wrong people.
This situation, let me, I hope you can, step back and, reevaluate the, footing of it. But I love you. And you love me.
We are one big family.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, that was a good one.
I feel like sex with I've never fucked a therapist.
I never fucked a therapist either.
Sex with a therapist is probably good.
You think?
I don't know, man. It kind of feel like, I don't know. It could be good.
How is it like? I need to know more about how it's like dating a therapist. This person needs to tell me more.
I don't know how they do. There's a woman that she has a famous TED Talk, but she's a therapist for therapists. And it is one of the craziest things to imagine.
Therapists need therapy too.
Which is like wild. So then it's kind of like, is he just testing things out on you as like a patient? Like that sounds weird.
Yeah, that sounds like, I feel like I've seen a movie like that.
It's like any movie about Munchausen syndrome, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie is called, what's that movie about fucking Gypsy Rose? It's that one.
That one.
Yeah, that
one.
That one.
The Act. The Act.
The Act.
I love that.
Okay, go watch The Act, my friend. And if it reminds you at all of your relationship, boop, it's too fast. You shouldn't have fallen in love. Keep your receipts.
But it's okay to, like, you know, again, if you feel something towards somebody, that shit could be real. Like, for instance, I think my love for Morgan was real. Everyone else is going to be like, oh, no, you was shitty. Yeah, he was shitty. And it wasn't.
Doesn't change the fact that you loved him.
But it didn't change the fact that I, you know, loved him. So it's okay. You feel something, you feel like you love him, and that's fine. But obviously, sometimes you fall in love with the wrong people, and that's something that, like, with time you'll figure out if it's something that is real, you know, not real, but like unconditional, and it's the right person you want to be with, because you can love people and not end up with them.
I'm thinking about that a lot lately, where I'm like reevaluating actually how many times I've been in love.
I've been in love 3 times.
I think
Morgan, Brian.
I think I used to think it was 4, and I genuinely think I've only been in love twice. I think my first boyfriend ever, Jamil, who I loved. It was puppy love, but it was just like so good and so healthy. And then Anthony. The other 2.
Yeah, there's like people who I thought maybe I could fall in love with, and I felt really strong emotions for, but
I was just horny and thought that strong emotion was lust or passion.
It was more lust.
Yeah,
there was a difference, because it was like it was very. Yeah, it was more so like just like needing them. Like, I don't know. It was also, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't a good time.
Yeah. And that's fine. But I think that, like, and also that goes back to the last person who submitted a thing about the whole like dating around, is like dating around sucks, but it also does help put a lot of shit in perspective. It helps you figure out like what like and don't like.
You discover yourself through dating.
Yeah.
Dating is honestly therapeutic.
You discover yourself through dating, but you do not earn validation in dating.
Yes, there you go.
Do not find value in other human beings, but discover things about yourself in just dating. But don't let the dating spill into your like, am I a good person? Like, that's different.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
And I like that you made that like that difference right there. But yeah,
I like your
it's
face.
so true. Oh, I like yours.
I think you're really pretty.
Stop. What? Where is this coming from?
Because you look really pretty today. You look really angelic. Remember, Jess, we were saying that. She looks so pretty today, doesn't she? Today, babe. It's about divorce, babe. She looks so pretty.
Oh,
you look so pretty. No, is that
you look beautiful with your red hair. This is how I know you're single, because you dyed your hair a color.
I'm not gonna lie. I really want to do that sound on TikTok. That's really problematic about like, don't fuck girls with red hair, because they're like going through something. And I like want to do it, and I want to be like, motherfucker, this hair.
This is true. You are.
Yes. I mean, I am going through something, but also not in like a negative way. It's just the fact that I'm like, I miss my red hair. I want it back. But more importantly, I think that red hair, like I've listened to that sound a lot on TikTok, and I'm just like, oh no, you just can't handle a girl with red hair. It's not that she's going through something. She probably fucking choked you during sex, and you were like, I feel scared. Like she probably demasculated you.
Honestly. But I did see that one TikTok about like how Asians go blonde, and then once they're back to black, they're completely healed. And I was like, did my mom help you through the process? Your mom helped me through the process.
God, wait. Okay, I can't like talk on that because I'm not Asian, but that's oh my God. I'm immediately thinking of people we know.
Yes, every Asian girl, an Asian girl who dyes their hair blonde, like they're going through it, and the blonder they get, they're really going through it, and then they go poop back to black because they're like, I'm healed. I don't need this.
Dude, but there is something about bleach blonding. Like whenever I see a man do it, Kanye, Frank Ocean, Pete Davidson, Machine Gun Kelly.
They want something different.
And they
want a new era.
Yes, or they just want someone to hold them and tell them it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
Like when Pete Davidson dyed his hair blonde, I was like, oh, you need a friend.
Yeah.
Like a good one, though.
Yeah.
Not like things. But yeah, no, you're right. Holy shit.
Watch out, Asian girl with real blonde hair. She going through it.
Oh.
But no, actually watch out for the Asian girl who goes back to black because she healed and don't got time for you.
Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. We
Back
ain't
to
doing
Black.
that shit. We ain't got time for that.
Nope.
Okay. Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Let's do one more email.
Okay, let's do one more email. I will say though, this is a lot of responsibility.
It is. Dyeing your
hair.
No.
Not just dyeing. Girl,
Upkeep.
Not even upkeep. I walked down Trader Joe's aisle, men double take.
Woo!
Like but it's like, it's kind of blown my mind because I'm like, I know I'm cute, but like, dang, like there's a lot, it's
I definitely
changes.
get hit on more when I'm a blonde.
This is a lot of I was talking, Lauren, she's a redhead, and I was like, Lauren, I don't know how you do it. This is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
It just brings
you look
out
good
a
as a
whole,
red. I feel like it's like you should have been.
Well,
a redhead.
I'm kind of like, I'm like a
You're
brunette red.
Irish.
I'm Irish, but like this is like, this is bottle red. I'm a bottle blonde.
Yeah.
So this is like a bottle red. So it's different, but it definitely is like a lot of, I feel like, responsibility.
I think my hairstylist, because I told her the joke, I think
she got offended. I'm so sorry.
But I was like, no. She's like, she's like, what do you mean bottle blonde? I was like, no, like.
But like, it's not like natural.
Right. Yeah. But I think because it's like when you like, I don't know, as a hairstylist, it's like making someone blonde is like a craft. There's a technique. So just to be like, it's
just
a
bottle blonde. Yeah,
just seems like, like I just,
That's
like.
not what I'm so sorry.
I know. I mean, she wasn't like mad, but I think I've noticed that she kind of was like, what do you, like she kind of needed clarification.
Oh my God, I did not mean to offend her. Well, it was like the one time that my old hairstylist, Helena, she was like, ooh, that girl has box-colored hair. And I was like, what a great insult. Box-colored hair.
That's an insult.
That's an insult.
Yeah.
So I understand. I didn't mean you do to Steph's hairstylist. You are an amazing human being. You're great. You're beautiful. I'm a huge fan of your work. Sorry if I offended you. I really am, actually. I feel so bad. Oh, shit. Okay.
This next email. It's fine. We've read longer.
I know, but she says, I'm a Scorpio and my moon is with Leo rising. I don't know. Read it and I'm going to find out my rising because I'm a Scorpio too. So we could be friends.
Okay. This one says, clueless with life. Same girl.
I'm supposed to help answer this. I'm sorry.
Somebody else?
Should we get someone else that actually think, okay, fine. Clueless with life. I'll try. We'll try. Okay, let's try.
Okay. Hey, Steph, I've been an avid listener with your podcast for 2 years now. Shouts to you, girl. Hey, thank you. Thank you for not unsubscribing. Anyways, your podcast gets me through my day and makes the shitty days a bit brighter. A little bit about me. I am out of high school, not enrolled in college, and not with the best job woman. Huh? Could be wrong. Sorry.
Is saying woman at the end of the sentence the new girl? Woman.
Is
girl?
It?
I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Are we just too old now that we don't understand like little things? Like,
or maybe she's saying that I'm a woman. Like I am a woman.
Oh, a little bit. A little about me. I'm an out of high school and not enrolled college and not with the best woman. Like I'm not with the best job woman. Like she's not like okay. I thought it was like a new Gen Z thing.
I know. Like woman.
We call it woman. Like is that a thing? I don't know.
Should we start doing that?
Woman.
Woman?
Yeah.
Girl, woman. I am a woman.
Yeah, like in your 30s, I'm like, oh yeah, woman. Woman, guess what? You know what I mean? You're like, hey, woman, guess what? I got some tea. You know what I mean? Like that's.
Is that the name of this episode?
A woman, guess what?
A woman, guess what?
Okay.
Keep going.
Where am I? I don't know. I live at home with my family, and every day that I am here, I feel like I've accomplished nothing in life. I'm the oldest sibling of 4 and having to constantly leave a good example for them, which my mother expects me to do well. My mother had me very young, and we both went through very tough times together. Aww. Our bond is a strange one, but it is one of the most cherished. We don't talk to each other like other mothers do with their kids, talking about their feelings, showing affection, and even the typical hugs are out of the most... sorry.
Do the highlighting thing, man. I'm telling you.
Or hugs are out.
You are clueless about life, too. It's okay. We'll get through this.
This is not her. It's on me. Okay. The typical hugs are out of our ordinary with us. We never talk about our differences because mother is always right.
Oh.
Girl, that's like my mom. Seeing my mother go through the struggles that she went through when I was young made me want to do everything I could so she could be proud of me. Sorry, that's a burp. Although 99% of the time, I failed. Of course, because you're human. So.
And you're also a kid.
Yeah. And to have that kind of pressure on you, you're going to keep making mistakes.
Yeah.
I still try harder to make her more proud the next time around. Over the course of the years, I started to get more exhausted with having to try for better outcomes in the challenges I faced. My drive to do anything in life became non-existent. But I wasn't allowed to break down because I had to keep trying to prove to my mother that she could be proud to have me as a daughter. This is really, I get this a lot. As of recently...
I know, I sense it. I feel
yeah.
you.
As of recently, my mom has been pushing me in the right direction in life. New job, new lifestyle, the whole package. At first, I really wanted to try my best and create a better path for me. But over the past couple of weeks, she has been nonstop harassing me to do better. To some of it may be pushes... Wait, where am I? To some, it may be pushes of encouragement, but with a mother like mine who is never satisfied, it gets suffocating.
For sure.
I'm about to start working at a bank and do the whole 9-to-5 lifestyle. A life that I never wanted to live. Same girl. My energy to try and my energy to grind, LOL, is gone. Because that lifestyle is not healthy for you, by the way. But we'll get to that. I desire more in life other than this. I truly have no idea where I am or where I'm going in life. Although I am young, I never really saw my life going this far. But over the years, I've found things to fight for. Wish I had the means to move out, but as a broke, practically unemployed, not college educated student, fuck college.
Fuck college. You knew that was the part that I
was yeah. I mean, college is great. We'll get into it. It seems like a fantasy. I am lost. Being the oldest, I never had anybody to look up to for answers. So I've been going through this alone. I knew it would be the best to speak to my mother about my feelings, but like I said, she is not the type to talk about how I'm truly feeling. Is your mom an immigrant? Because that sounds like my immigrant parents. I'm signing myself up for therapy. Yes, thankfully, because this is definitely a lot to unpack. LOL. But I just wanted to know your opinion on this whole situation and maybe some advice on how to handle this type of weight on someone's shoulders. Aw, she's from Chicago. Yes. Okay.
Ooh, we have so many thoughts.
So many thoughts. You should go first.
Fuck college. I'm just gonna say that right now. Fuck college.
College is great if you're gonna be a doctor, a nurse. If you do want to learn a skill and you have the means to. A lot of it really, college is a privilege in America. Like, let's be real, and it is.
And it should be free, but we're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but it's also not for everyone.
Nope.
It's not for everyone. And it doesn't make you less than someone who has gone to college.
I have never gone to college. I now work in Los Angeles. I work and live in Los Angeles. I help out my parents financially, and I have a job. Did it take me a fucking long time to get here? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I have any debt? No, not anymore. So it's like, yeah, college is I believe it. If it's anything that feels like a trade school, like you said, if it's like a doctor, a lawyer. I'm not going to hire a lawyer if they didn't go to college, right?
Right.
But the whole idea of what college is and where it has gone from like what our grandparents to even our parents have been through, yeah, no, it's a scam, right? And it's really, it's totally fucked up.
Yeah, like, I feel like the way that it was sold to us, because here's the thing, college can be useful, we can learn something. I think education is very important.
Yep.
But it's just like, yeah, we're always told like, okay, we go to second grade and then we go to third grade. So we go to high school, become a senior. And from senior year, we go to college. And like, but the reality is that not a lot of us people know what the fuck we want to do with our lives.
No.
So it's like,
and it's expensive 4 years to figure out what the fuck you want to do with your life.
It's so expensive to think of like, okay, what am I going to do? And if you don't have the privilege and the means to just.
I want to say something so bad.
Okay. We'll get to Jess because I know that she's in school right now.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything.
You sure?
Are you team college?
She's in school right now.
I'm team masters.
Team masters.
Here's my other thing, though. What I was going to say, Jess, you're bringing up a really good point, and I wanted to touch on this. College will always be there. This girl is fresh out of high school and not going to college. Girl, you can go to college when you're 30.
But she feels
you can
like,
go to college when you're
right.
45. You can go to college at any point. The amount of women I know that worked like fucking when I was a maid at a hotel, the amount of women I know that are now nurses and doctors, but were fucking single moms working as maids, going to night school, getting their masters, getting all those things in their like late 20s, early 30s. I'm all about that. I think, though, college, you should not go to college until your brain is fully done, developed, and that is at 25.
And so it puts pressure. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, go to community college, like probably intern to a bunch of places, figure out what you like to do. But I think we're like kind of sometimes forced to, especially if you're someone like, for instance, like me, like where it's like, ideally, like I guess I'm like considered in the like the middle class. Like I wouldn't say that my parents had the money to give me like the funds to go to college. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I had to take out a loan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, and it was like this forced thing. It was like, okay, I gotta go. And you have to like make these huge financial decisions. Like college is expensive, huge financial decisions to go somewhere. And you're like, but I don't even know what the fuck I want to learn. There's so many people who go to school, fail out, or they're like, they switch majors and they don't know what to do. And there's added pressure that you have to figure it out right now, when reality, it's like, it takes time and it's okay to go back later. And Jess, I know that you said that you, after like when you went to college when you were younger, you didn't do well. And then now when you're older, because you lived and you've experienced and you've worked out there and you've figured out what you liked, you went back and now you're doing amazing.
Yes. And
You want to come on? I know you have a face mask. She's got a face mask on, but she's got something to say.
I will say the only guys, I graduated my undergrad with a 2.0 GPA, and it was crazy because with that it was really hard for me to get into a master's program because no one would take me. And I was just talking to my dad about that yesterday, and he was like, it's crazy because now I'm in my master's. I have a 4.0. I'm a straight A student, literally all A's, and I'm graduating next year.
And you're working full time.
And I'm working full time. So there's definitely something wrong with the system because
Facts.
they should have known that maybe it's not that she's not doing well, but there's something that we're missing as a school. So
Facts.
yeah. I'm team masters, undergrad, go to community college, save your coins.
There
Right,
you go.
exactly. Yeah, and just intern a bunch of places, like try to get like
But
put
to
yourself-
expect a fucking 18-year-old
to make a
with
huge financial decision.
$500,000 in debt to
not-
figure out what the hell they want to do with their
A
lives.
lot of us
is a
can't
lot.
afford college. Let's be
No,
honest.
I mean, that was me. I couldn't afford it.
Right.
Charles McAleese
So-
was like, Rose, you're going to get a job. And I was like, I will, sir. But no, yeah, it's also.
They can't afford college. So you got to get out a loan. This is how they scam me because I just went through recently something with my loan, and it was a whole thing. And I've learned a lot about how this system fucking works. And I'll be honest with you. So I wanted to go to college because that's the thing to do when you're 18 and you're 19, right? So like I went to school. I went to FITM, a fashion school, which the dumbest decision to ever make because like you don't need a degree for what I wanted to do at that time. I should have just went out to like community college, like Jess said, or just whatever. Anyways, I took out a massive loan because FITM is expensive.
Yes, it is.
It is expensive. And so these banks, because I didn't take out a federal loan, I took out a private loan, which was the biggest mistake. If you're going to take out a loan, at least do federal because there's a little bit more forgiveness. But these private loans don't give a fuck.
Nope.
They're going to make these minimum payments so large. And then I'm working jobs where I can't even make that. So they're going to do these whole like, okay, we're going to adjust the minimum and you're just going to like pay like a certain percentage of it. But that doesn't even it wasn't even interest. It was just like a small payment. But then because I wasn't doing the regular minimum payment, the interest kept building. My loan doubled, y'all.
Yeah, that makes
even though
sense.
for years I was paying it. We're like, where's the money? But they just keep wanting to have you pay that shit off and you're paying that shit off for the rest of your life. Navient is a scam, y'all. So fuck
It
Navient.
is. Well, yeah, I mean, they're under investigation.
Yeah,
Sally
yeah,
Mae,
exactly.
all those
Don't do it.
hoes.
Yeah,
They're
Sally Mae,
fucking
all of them.
Scammers.
Anyways, I'm done with that. Anyway, but
But
that's what I'm saying is I wasn't, again, I'm not even in fashion anymore.
yeah.
I worked, I lived my life, and I could have gone these jobs without that degree. And I realized what I really loved to do. And I figured that out in my mid to late 20s.
And I think that's also another really good point to our dear reader is the idea that you're not in fashion anymore. So like what you did 10 years ago doesn't affect what you're doing now. And that's completely fine, right? In the sense of like you're young and you're growing. And I know there's a lot of pressures in this idea of you're living at home, which I think a lot of the issues you're probably having with your mom is because you're in such close proximity with her. And so it's like there. And so you're kind of like reminded of all this like disappointment that you're maybe you're creating yourself a little more disappointment. This idea of like pressure of like, again, it does sound like an immigrant parent because we're getting the similar vibes of this whole idea of wanting to make them proud. And that's also true just of parents in general. You just want to make your parent proud. But I think that the scope of it is, I know this is going to sound so irritating, but it's so true where it's like, you're so fucking young. Right. And it's one of those upsetting things that you're not going to realize until
you
want to
be older. You want to have it all together right now. You don't want to think like, you're young and it's cool and fun when it's like,
nah, be messy.
When you could be drunk and like bounce back. But like at the end of the day, like,
you just like have to just take time as is. Also, I think it's really fucking important. Okay, one of my biggest issues is this idea of millennials versus Gen Z. Honestly, we're in the same fucking boat. Like this whole idea that like, oh my God, Gen Z had to grow up with the recession and all this stuff that we all did. We all had to fucking grow up with this terrible fucking situation. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate this divide because the main thing that can bring these two generations together is the idea that we can't buy houses. We can't we have to live at home, right? Like this idea of like what success is. We have to have roommates. We have to have all these situations where it's like, it's very hard to just fucking make it right now. Life is so expensive and the most expensive it's been in a very fucking long time.
And not everybody wants to be a doctor and be a nurse or a lawyer to be able to afford to get a house.
Yeah.
Like not everyone's cut out to have those jobs. Like I get it. Like there is this pressure of doing that when it's like deep down you're like, I'm not made for these certain lifestyles, which are like the only lifestyles where you could get a house, and not all of us are like that.
And honestly, the whole idea of you being clueless in life right now, you should be. Like this is the time to be clueless, right? And I even think sometimes where I'm like, I'm realizing this too with a lot of people in our 30s where we're like, we're so old, and I'm like, nah, not really. Like, and also, why are you gonna rob yourself of that? Girl, you're gonna hate yourself calling yourself old when you're 40, because then you're gonna be like, oh, why didn't I enjoy being 30? 30 was so young.
When I was 26, I thought I was old,
which is bullshit. Honestly, I think it's complete fucking bullshit the way that people are like, oh, we're in our 30s, we're so old. And I remember being 20 and 19 and thinking 30 was old. And now that I'm in it, I'm like, girl, I'm still 19. I'm just fucking taller now. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's this idea and
with acid reflux.
Yeah, well, that too. Oh, God, that too. But, like, this idea that, like, youthfulness is not equated with age at all. Like, it really is a mindset. Mm-hmm. And age doesn't mean shit. Because if you look at the fucking world that we live in was ran by adults and old dudes, they're fucking up. We're in a position right now where
we don't even trust them.
We don't trust them. They're fucking us over on student loans. They're fucking us over with their taking the rights away from our bodies. They're trying to fuck with our homies that want to get married, right? Like, all this shit that's happening, that age does not mean anything. So, young, dear reader, you are young. You are exactly where you need to be right now. You do not know what you're doing now might affect your life, be completely different in a year. Your life may be completely different in 10 years. Don't think of this bank job as like the final frontier. It's just your job right now.
It's your job right now. It's a blessing that you got a job. Yeah,
see, Jess was a banker.
Yeah,
and she cashed it in and she left.
This is not the rest of your life.
No.
You will have another point in your life. You're like, okay, what's next?
Exactly.
And you're going to keep figuring it out as you go.
Always, constantly. I'm 32 and I'm still trying to figure out shit.
Girl, same.
I just learned about plumbing. Now I don't have to call my landlord anymore. And I'm proud of myself. Why did it take me 32 years? I don't know.
I don't even know plumbing.
That's why I really like that guy on fucking TikTok that's like, oh, I wish I learned this before I was 30. Well, you know it now, bro.
Right,
like, okay, fine.
And here's the thing with the mommy issues, the mama trauma.
There you go.
Someone who has a very similar mother from what you're, explaining of just you're never good enough. There's always ways to improve. One, it's a reflection of herself because she wants you to be different from what she's, experienced. But two, you are a completely different person. You will never be happy if you're always constantly trying to please your mom. You will forever be miserable thinking that way. Like, you are your own person. Your mom brought you here. Yes, she raised you. Yes, she's a huge part of you. But you are living your life for you. Mm-hmm. And even if you did all the things to make your mom happy, like you said, she got you this job, all these things. Again, you're not happy. So don't try to make her happy. Make yourself happy. You matter. Like, don't neglect your feelings. As soon as I kind of I think when I moved out of my mom's house, and I started kind of creating my community in my life and started working, I was like, oh yeah, like I don't need to like be A, B, and C just to like prove to my mom that, you know, like this might sound controversial because Jess is in the audience, and I'm sorry, this isn't anything towards religion, but like I used to really try to like be like going to church all the time, and I wasn't going to church for me. I was going to church because I was like, I wanted to tell my mom, you know, and like, but I realized actually I don't really fucks with the church like that. Yes, on a spiritual level, like I have my own beliefs and like, you know, the way that I like to handle my like relationship with God. Yeah. Right. But I don't like physically going to church. I don't think that makes me a good person, but my mom would always tell me I needed to go because it would make me a better person. Or like I wasn't a good person until I like, she's like, oh, you're going to hell because you don't go to church. So like I did that out of fear. I did that to prove my mom like, see, I'm not going to hell, you know? And like, but I was always unhappy. I didn't feel fulfilled or connected with my spirituality doing that because I was really just doing it to please her and not myself.
And there's this weird pressure we put on ourselves, but we completely forget. And this is what my mom always told me every time I was like too hard on myself or like wanting to please my immigrant father and everything. My mom was like, you did not ask to be here. You did not ask to be born. The least you can do is try your best and everything. And that's like literally you tried your best as a daughter and everything. But I also feel like in a way, and I know like your relationship with your mom and how you're working in it and with the Dear Reader, like I definitely also think though, when you start tapping into your own personal happiness, an aspect of your mom will register that and see it.
I was going to say, now that like my mom and I kind of, well, one, she moved to a completely different state. So there's a lot of space between us. Literally. And because I've followed, you know, my path and made my decisions and done the things for myself, like we actually get along a lot better now. There isn't this friction between us where it was really just like, I think that like she really realized and saw how independent I was and was able to really like stand on my own. Yeah. And that's all that mattered.
You didn't become a serial killer. She succeeded as a mother.
Yeah. Like maybe exactly. Like I'm fine. And she's like, okay, like she's okay. She's
figured it out.
She's figured it out, you know? And so my mom still like loves to throw her opinions out there about me and Brian getting married, or like, you know, she's just very blunt. My mom will always be
your mom.
My mom. But now it's like I'm older. I've done so many things for myself. I've failed so many times. You know how many times I've been goddamn fired. And every single time I've figured it out. And so now she's at a point where she's just laid back.
Yeah.
Like respected now. Because now she gets to a point where she's about to tell her opinion. She's like, this is my opinion. I know you're going to do whatever you want to do, but this is my opinion. And I just let her have her opinion. But I always let her know, like, I decide for me.
But the emotional intelligence of her being able to be like, okay, but I'm stepping in with my opinion. And it's like, ooh, it's not fact. It's not truth. It's, you know, it's an opinion.
You know, it's an opinion. Yeah. And so like, exactly. But it's like, she's seen me fail a million times, but she's also seen me get up and figure it out. And she's also helped me at times. Like, I will say, like, my mom actually like has helped me a lot, like recently, you know, in the past few years to get back up, even though we were having our little moments, but she has, you know, but she's also seen that I've been able to do it. And it's like, now I'm an adult now. She can't tell me what to do. So again, but when you're young, like she's still kind of hanging on to like the fact that
you're young
and
you're still her baby,
but just keep literally doing shit for you. And it's going to piss her off. When I first started the show, I did not tell my mom. My dad knew, and he wasn't allowed to listen. But like, I blocked him on everything. But he knew about the show. He knew what I was talking about. But I didn't tell my mom. It was like a complete secret. Like, did not tell her. And then I think a couple years in, I don't know who did. It was probably like a family member, I'm assuming, told her about it. And my mom sent me the longest disrespectful text message about how I'll never find a man because I'm basically doing porn and that I'm disrespecting myself and my body and all these things. And I like was going to go to hell because this was not holy in me, all these things. Shit. It was bad. And that sat with me for a long time when I was dating because I was like, damn, like no one's gonna like me because I do this show, you know? So, but I have had to like fight that. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna continue to do what I do. And thankfully I had friends to remind me that like, no, like you keep doing you. And like now I found someone literally who was a fan of the show and like, just do you, you know? So it's just like, and now my mom, she knows I have the show. She doesn't ask about it, but I'll tell her like, oh, I'm in LA, like doing batches of episodes. But she knows, you know, like her opinions could be her opinion, but she can't tell me what to do.
She can't tell me shit.
So it's a way to create boundaries is when you just start doing stuff for you. And it is what it is. And like, don't put that pressure on yourself that you have to make an example of your siblings and all this stuff. Your siblings are their own people.
Fuck your siblings. Don't try to. Yeah, sorry. Don't do the sibling route. It gets exhausting.
Look, your siblings are their own main character in their own lives. To us, they're the side characters. So we feel like we need to impress these side characters. No. They're going to have their own battles, their own struggles.
Treat them like a side character, the comic relief.
Right.
Let them have their jokes.
Right.
But keep them pushing.
Keep it pushing. But they're going to go through their own thing. You're not, they're going to have their experience. And honestly, like, it's fine if honestly, they should see you fail and get back and fail and get back. To me is a good example.
Yeah.
Because if you were perfect, that'd be hard for them too.
I know
like,
that too. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And it's also one of those things where it's like, I think that obviously going to therapy is going to help. Obviously you do have like a relationship with your mom where you can communicate with her. So maybe communicate some of these things to her, being like, hey mom, I just let
she
you know.
probably doesn't
like,
realize.
Yeah, like you could be like, yo, this bank job is just like a resting place, like until I figure out like my passion, like what I actually want to do and what I care about. And it's also one of those things that's like you live with her, so then it's like, you know, it's
respect
her. You're in her position or her place, and then maybe the position will be different where you move out, and that's going to change the dynamic and everything. But like,
yo, save your money right now. Like girl. That's the thing. If you are living at home, I'm telling you, as someone who did not save money when I was living with my parents. Save your money. I know you probably hear that shit all the time, but
my dad literally was like, act like I'm charging you rent.
Yes.
And it helped me. It helped me so much to put the amount of money for rent, and then that's the money that I use to move to LA. Because
as you're an adult and you live out on your own, there's gonna be moments you get fired. There's gonna be moments that your car breaks down.
There's gonna be moments where roommates don't pay. There's gonna be a lot of shit like that, okay? So it's just gonna be hard and difficult.
Okay.
You can cut this part out, Steph. So yeah, if you're just in that position, you know, being an adult is really hard. Don't try to be an adult now. Be an adult when you need to be an adult.
Exactly. Don't be hard on yourself.
Don't be hard on yourself.
Girl, have fun and figure it out and be like, yeah, I'm clueless, but I'm gonna figure it out and keep making mistakes and just learn from it.
Yeah.
And
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, I think she also mentioned, like, I have no motivation. That shit's up and down, girl.
Oh, that comes and goes.
You won't feel motivated for a minute. And it's probably depression, and you have to but take that moment. Don't be hard because you're not doing anything. Like, take that moment to figure out, you know, your emotions. That's where therapy comes in. You're gonna feel motivated again. It will come back.
The way I think about it all the time is every time that I feel unmotivated, which is actually like recently, where this past week I just sat on my couch for 3 days straight and watched.
I've been there. Yeah.
I thought to myself, oh shit, that's because I'm about to be hella busy in my future. Mm-hmm. Like I just get this like weird sensation.
It always happens.
It always fucking happens this entire week. Didn't I not tell you? I was like, fuck, I can't do this. I gotta re-meet you at this time. It's literally in a weird way. I think it's like your future you being like, can you sit on the couch for 3 days? Because there's gonna be an entire week where we don't sleep for 12 hours. Yes. Okay. So there's
gonna be moments where you're so busy and exhausted, and you look back and be like, I'm so glad I rested those 3 days.
And the thing that I've been seeing circulating on social media and stuff like that is you have not experienced your best days yet or your worst days. So don't prepare for anything that hasn't happened yet. We don't know shit about the future. We don't know a goddamn fucking thing about the future. We can all pretend it does not exist. So for now, just really remember that this is just a moment in time. Make the best of it. Try to be as motivated as you can. Enjoy your fucking banking job as best as you can. Understand loans now, girl.
Honestly, like, you're going to be working for a bank. Learn all the financial shit that you need, and that's going to fucking help you. Save your money. Open up yourself a whole savings account.
Right.
Girl, you have the options. You work at a bank.
Oh, that's so true. Use this as your college.
Yes.
Use your banking. You're getting paid to get an education. Yes. Ask your manager questions about student loans. Ask your manager about interest rates. Ask your manager about
what
housing
does it all
loans.
mean? Yes.
What does the housing market look like? What's this recession going to do? Like, this is your college. And the best thing about this college is, bitch, you're getting paid to go.
Exactly.
That was deep.
That was deep. Because honestly, I used to hate like the financial conversations. But
Let's
like
talk about it.
now that I'm older, I'm just like, everything I think about is real estate. I'm constantly thinking about I used to never fucking think about anything like that. I'm on Zillow. I got the Zillow app. I got all things favorite. I'm just like, I'm discovering what I like. Like
Someone said Zillow is Pornhub for millennials. And I was like,
literally, I'm on Zillow. I'm on Zillow more than porn. Like on it, like I'm on Zillow honestly more than like
you're like, ooh, look
Instagram.
at this kitchen.
I'm always on Zillow.
And do you ever feel, and I know a lot of people have this, where you're on this and you're like, 2.5, oh, that is not worth that. And you're like I have even 1.5. Right. I'm so like bougie. Or you look up, do you ever look up other people's houses? Like, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. We just stayed in Airbnb. I was like, Jess, send me the address. I'm going to look up the house.
And then you're like, you pay this much for
or
this?
Or if I go to a city, like I just went to Arizona, I was like, let me look up the houses and see how much the housing, like the cost of living is here. I'm so like, I need to
see and learn this shit.
My goal is to have a bunch of real estate. That's why I'm like just like trying to like learn it and understand and like where is a good like place to have
therapy, Airbnbs and condos.
Like I'm like where's a good spot for an Airbnb and like learning the like all that stuff.
Clever.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I want to do, but just in general, just understanding all of that. Anyways, I have to fart. Let's plug yourself. Farted.
I can't. I want to go home.
We have one more episode to do. This one's long. Oh my God.
I'm totally kidding. Oh, this is long. Why are you panicking? Oh my God. Steph, what did you eat? It's like stale Sprite spaghetti. Oh my God. Stale Sprite spaghetti. What was that? That came from your tiny, delicate body.
And my farts have never smelled like this. It's never smelled like this before.
Oh my
fart, it's never smelled. I know what it is. I had boiling crap last night.
Oh my God, yes you did. Stop.
Oh my God, it smells so bad. I'm like, this is not a regular fart smell. It's a fucking boiling crap. Plug yourself. Plug it.
I'm dying. I would like everyone can go to my funeral except Steph. Oh my God. Okay, I'm Rose. You can find me on all socials at Rosetta Stone. I don't like TikTok. I have I'm sorry. Because fucking you farts. I had to use my fan. Rose at Rosetta Stone. TikTok, I don't have. Instagram.
Well, yes, you do.
Oh, I do, but I'm like never on it. And then also the new blog on the block.com.
And then follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brooklyn.therapy.com. All the things are there. We got to go because I got to like pee. Probably shit.
I was about to say, go buy a candle. Buy a Broke Girl therapy candle to cover this smell.
What?
Holy crap.
Okay, bye.
That is aggressive, Steph.
Broke Girl therapy.